Hello and welcome to Value Chain TV News Update. I am Kabir Lawal with the news. On the Value Chain TV News Update, Vice President Kashim Shettima has disclosed that the federal government has partnered with the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria to devise an actionable roadmap and policy framework that will furbish the nation's manufacturing sector. The Vice President made this known while declaring open the National Manufacturing Policy Summit at the State Banquet Hall in Abuja. Kashim Shettima called for prioritization of local content and promotion of made-in-Nigerian products, citing the Executive Order 003, which makes the patronage of locally manufactured products mandatory, is still in effect. Value Chain TV asks few Nigerians their take on the development.
Honestly, we must be frank with ourselves. If actually we must move on in this country, we must decide to start patronizing our own locally made goods. You know, the choice or the taste for foreign goods is actually out of it, and that is what is causing this issue of dollar scarcity, dollar increase. People are now speculating whether the dollar is higher than the naira, or the naira is higher than the dollar. So for us to move forward in this country, we must start patronizing our own locally made goods, and not just patronize our own locally made goods. We must make sure that we support our own local manufacturers. And this is the problem with the government. When we see people who have talent, who have talent or skills in knowing how to do these things, we don't actually support them. Instead, we would rather prefer to patronize foreign-made goods, and that is what is killing our economy. That is why here in this country we don't export anything. Rather, it is import. But when we start patronizing our own locally made goods, now we give people that idea that this is what we have, this is what we can do.
I think made in Nigeria is advisable that we should patronize made in Nigeria. But in another aspect, then coming to the industrial aspect of it, I think we don't have the finishing, the mechanism that it takes for us to do a finished product in this country. We the youth are outside there plenty, graduate, non-graduate and upcoming. So I am urging and I'm pleading to the government if they can be able to bring down the company all over here in Nigeria for us to be employed and be patronizing our own country product. I think it will be better.
Well, I feel bad because let me just put myself in the shoes. When I try to produce something on my own and people don't get to buy it, I'll really feel bad because it will be as if the talent or the skill I have is not well appreciated. So I'm going to really feel bad if people don't patronize what I use my own hand to do instead of getting things outside. Well, if this country must move forward, I guess it's a good idea so that we can equally be able to learn how to do these things on our own. Even apart from that, if you check around, you see that most of the things that we use here in Nigeria is something we get outside. Let's talk about the medical health sector where I belong to. Most times once a rich man is sick, you see them flying their kids abroad, whereby we are supposed to have these things in our country. And you know that I believe so much that Nigeria has that money to be able to bring these things into the country. But if they don't do it, we'll keep on patronizing what we have to get outside. So I think it's a good idea if there could be a follow-up. And apart from a follow-up, the Nigerian government should be able to empower people who are really ready to put their hands in doing these things. Because if there is no empowerment, if there is no support, definitely people will keep on depending on outside.
The Independent Petroleum Producers Group has called on President Bola Tinubu to declare a state of emergency on crude oil production in Nigeria. The group made this known at the ongoing Nigerian Oil and Gas Conference in Abuja. The call follows concerns over the lack of domestic crude oil to the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and other indigenous refiners. The oil producers expressed fears that the 2024 budget might be implemented partially due to the low production of crude oil in Nigeria lately. In his remarks, Minister of State for Petroleum Resources Oil, Eniken Lukpobiri, charged the oil producers to increase their investment in the upstream arm of the business, as these will help to grow oil output. The Minister of State Petroleum Resources Oil, Senator Eniken Lukpobiri, has commended Aradel Holdings PLC for their innovation and growth. The minister's commendation was part of his remarks during his visit to the company's facility in Ogbele, Rivers State. Eze Anastasia, completes the report.
The minister toured various locations within the Ogbele facility. He praised the company's fully integrated status, which he described as embodying Nigeria's resilience and resourcefulness. In his remarks, the managing director CEO Aradel Holdings PLC Adegbite Falade highlighted the company's current projects and commitments to its host communities through the Morale Trust. Mr. Falade thanked the federal government of Nigeria and host communities in Rivers State while expressing his gratitude for the government's continuous regulatory oversight and support. He assured that Aradel is committed to its part of transformation and progress and will remain fully committed to providing sustainable energy solutions that support economic growth. For Value Chain TV, Anastasia Adeze reporting.
The Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, NCDMB, has unveiled the 5 focal areas for implementation of the Presidential Directive on Local Content Compliance. Executive Secretary, Engineer Felix Omotola Obe, who disclosed this in Abuja, said the areas include promoting the utilization, growth in-country capacities, enhancing the cost of competitiveness of oil and gas projects, and non-inclusion of intermediary entities lacking the essential capacity to perform from the Nigerian Content Plan (NCP). Others include approval of Nigerian Content Plan and ensuring that entities acting solely as intermediaries with no demonstrable capacity to execute the project or activity shall not be approved. Obe described the policy initiative as crucial for enhanced competitiveness and mitigation of risks in regard to unqualified contractors and reiterated the board's steadfastness in guaranteeing that services provided will generate value in the country. The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelabu, has disclosed that about 6 trillion naira revenue is required annually to ensure steady power supply in Nigeria. Adelabu, who disclosed this while speaking at the ongoing Nigerian Oil and Gas Energy Week in Abuja, said a significant amount of investment is needed to improve power generation and distribution in the country. He pointed out that the industry currently generates about 1 trillion naira annually in revenue, explaining that the additional 5 trillion naira in revenue will stabilize power supply in the country. The Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Engiwa, has said that the federal government is planning to establish a National Social Housing Fund, NSHF, for low-income earners. The minister stated this at the opening of Made in Kaduna International Housing Exhibition held at the Umaru Musa Yaradua Hall, Kaduna. Engiwa explained that the NSHF will pull funds from government budget, philanthropic organizations, and well-meaning Nigerians to provide decent shelter for citizens who cannot afford to own homes. Engiwa informed that statistics have shown that almost half of Nigerians' population of over 201 million were poor and have weak purchasing power. The Director General of Nigerian Center for Disease Control and Prevention, Dr. Jide Idris, has said a total of 2,102 suspected cholera cases and 63 deaths have been recorded across 33 and 102 local government areas in the country. Idris stated this in Abuja while giving an update on the campaign against the cholera outbreak as the National Youth Service Corps introduced strict camp guidelines with the commencement of the 2024 Batch B Stream A orientation course. To ensure a successful program, the Director General of the NYSC, Brigadier General Yushau Ahmed, has issued strict instructions to camp coordinators and officials to prevent the outbreak of cholera in the orientation camps nationwide. Some Nigerians have reacted to this development. The report.
In the beginning, the impact, like talking for the radio station, TV station, that one used to help a lot. Because sometimes I remember for the COVID-19, the way that they adjust it, because the way that they are announcing it first will put the fear for people's mind. But without federal, like doing all those things, first, that one will even make everything to spray. And the second thing again, federal knows like the kind of people that they have. Let us assume now that we are in here. Let us assume all the all those parks that we have, because those are the places that people can contact all those things more easily. Sometimes I remember for the COVID-19, sometimes they used to put some drum of water, all those sanitizers, those things used to help. I believe if they did that, that one can go ahead, can go a lot for we poor masses.
Create an awareness. They have to create an awareness to the public. Teach, let the public know what to do and not to do. What the kind of water to drink, the kind of things to do. In fact, creating an awareness to the public. That is what the government need to do to the masses, because the thing is really killing. Is really killing human beings now, because it's like the cholera outbreak now is far different from what we normally see. This one, I don't know, it's just killing people anyhow. It's a cleanliness, it's nearness to godliness. It's very, very key to this now. We should know the kind of water we drink. We see that some people even drink water from the swamp, from the stream. And those streams, people go there to poo, people go there to bathe, people go there to wash clothes. And we see some sets of people, because you know how stream is, it will move to the other side. People will take it and drink the water. And before you know it will be spread, so they should curtail those things. And our government will also help those communities get pipe-borne water. They can create a borehole for them, because drinking those waters, honestly, mostly it contacts from mostly is from water.
You see, issue of cholera talking about. Government have power to do everything if you don't want to do it, but they don't want to do anything. And the issue be say people are working in the government that used to deceive Mr. President and other people that they are doing something while they are not doing anything. Go to other countries. You can see such in their countries. But in Nigeria here we're talking about cholera. What's the cholera? Because it's something you can treat, something you can solve as a problem. But because of nobody to do it, even though they give a minister money to go and take official, minister will eat the money and nothing will happen to him. Rather you go to court and say whatever we meet in the court. After court everything finish. So my advice I give it to Nigeria, if you want to give somebody work, give somebody you know that he can do that work and do it well. So these things will go. We have a minister for cholera. We have every official for cholera in Nigeria. But if the government want to do it, they will do it. But I'm advising government, let them do the need for people. People will not die because of official. This is not good.
That ends the Valuchain TV news updates. I am Kabir Lawal. Thanks for watching.